Welcome to the University of Hertfordshire Offer Holder Day for Media. My name's Sharon Maxwell Magnus, and today I'll be taking you through a journalism section of our presentation. But before that, I'd like firstly to congratulate you on choosing journalism. I've been a journalist for over 20 years and it is a most fascinating and fantastic career, and I hope you'll want to join me. And secondly, I'd like to congratulate you for having received an offer from us. I look forward to seeing many of you in September. Our watchwords are community, confidence and communication, and today we'll be working on all three of those skills. But first, before I do, I'd like to say something very important about journalism. I don't know why you've chosen to do journalism as part or all of your degree, but my guess is that you're someone who is curious about the world, who wants to know more, that you're someone who wants to make an impact, someone who loves writing or broadcasting or speaking, someone who's interested in everything going on around them. And if that's you, you've chosen the right subject. What is journalism all about today? Well, this global pandemic has never more illustrated how journalism is needed and how much journalists can count towards society. So, for instance, at the moment in the UK, and indeed in many European countries, journalists are key workers. CMOD, we don't save lives, we don't offer care to people. But what we do is find accurate information and give it to the general public. That's you, making sure that you have the facts as they unfold, that you know what the risks are, that you know what's happening. Some of us are news journalists and give those sort of hard factual articles. Others, on the other hand, may provide you with useful information about how to cope with being in your home so much, films to watch, music to listen to, or just how to de-stress. And that's a valuable part of journalism too. So what do journalists do? Firstly, journalists tell stories, but real stories about real people, interesting stories, stories that inform, sometimes stories that entertain. They investigate, find out things that other people don't want them to know. There's a whole range of things that journalists do, and so much depends on the type of journalist you are. For instance, there are journalists who cover the environment, journalists who cover fashion, journalists who cover sport, journalists who cover war correspondence. A whole range of journalists covering different things. And most journalists will have a speciality, and what you cover in our course will really depend to some extent on your own interests. So how do you become a journalist? I'd like you to do a small exercise, because one of the things that journalists do is write, but they write very short pieces. It's sometimes as little as 100 words, and that's what we're going to do right now. So I want you to take a few minutes just to think about something that's special about you, or something that means something special to you. It could be, for instance, a story your grandmother told you about how she came to this country. It could be the best day of your life. It could be the worst day of your life. It could be an interest or hobby that's unusual. Anything from falconry to cheerleading. And I want you to write about you and this particular story in 100 words. No more than that. How do you make it interesting? The only way at this point is to use strong verbs. That is, the doing words should be really, really incisive. Once you've finished, take a look over. And now add just 2 adjectives. Just do describing words at crucial points in the text. Read it through again. Ideally, read it to someone else. Ask them for one thing you could improve on. Now I do a final draft. And when you've finished, that will give you a very good idea of what it's like to write a short news piece as a journalist, because news puts the most important facts at the top and covers the most important facts within those first few sentences. So this is a good exercise to start you off with. I'm Sharon Maxwell Magnus, and I hope you've enjoyed being with us.